Okay. Yeah, Shona, do you have a question?
Yeah, sorry, I missed the start of last class. Another classmate told me they thought they heard you say that we were not going to be using ProctorU for the exam. Is that true?
No, no, I didn't say that. We didn't even mention about the exams.
Oh, that's so strange. Okay, they
Who
must
said
have.
I wish it's correct.
that?
I don't want to put them out. So, yeah, they must have misunderstood the
No, no, maybe,
conversation.
probably a
Okay.
person made us misunderstood. Okay, so
Yeah.
let's start. So, hello everyone. Welcome to today's class. Today is our 9th week, and we are going to look at very special topic for today. And our topic is identifying measures and literature review. Both are very important in research or program evaluation. But before then, let's look at the agenda for today. We have community news as usual. Then I will go through, the assignment. Assignment, I think, is due next week or so. Then we will engage in short class discussion as we used to do normally. And finally, I'll do a short presentation and wrap up nicely before. Today I have code, so I speak through my notes and stuff. I hope you understand me clearly. Okay. But before we move on, any news? Chidima, do you have a question?
The question I would have asked, I don't know if anybody has asked, is with respect to the assignment. Are we required to do interview or just the website?
No, just website.
Okay, we just have to go and review their website.
Yeah, but one of you work in the department, in the area or so, you can also, look at it and then, you can interview somebody inside. If you want to, yeah, there's nothing
Okay.
wrong with that. Yeah,
And we reference the person that we interviewed.
yeah, you can do that. Yes. Also,
Okay.
we can. All right. Any news apart from this one? Apart from what? Who is that? I think Chidima. Yeah, mentioned. All right. I think we will move to the next segment. Then we will come back to do the recap of last week's class. The second assignment is due on March 12th. I'll travel to Toronto on March 11 and return on March 15. So if you need an extension, probably I can give you few extension because I will not be able to look at the papers until I return. So if you need an extension, let me know so that we can, work around it. Do you need an extension or, you are good to go? Are you good to go?
Not really.
Okay.
We may.
We don't mind the extension.
An extension would be
You may
helpful.
need extension. Yeah.
Okay. So can I give
Extension would be
extension?
helpful though.
What?
If you can give us an extension, that would be nice.
Okay, so let's take 1 week extension so that
So the 19th?
all right, to 19th, yeah. So let me correct this one here. 19th. So that I'll have time to okay. All right, so now we have agreed that the assignment is due on the 19th March. That is 2 weeks from today. Time is 11:59. With this extension, I don't want anybody to ask for another extension again because I've already given you 1 week extension. So the assignment in a group of up to 6 students, identify a social service agency and evaluate some of their social service gaps it is facing. So you read the instruction in the course syllabus and the rubric as well. Let's see if I can stop sharing so that I'll go through the rubric briefly with you. I think I did that before, but for the sake of rubric, okay. Final assignment. Yes, Nicole?
Hi, Professor. I just wanted to let you know that the rubric and the syllabus are 2 different things in terms of instructions.
Okay.
I just wanted to let you know.
Okay, good. How different? Maybe I have to check it.
There are sections missing in the syllabus that are in the rubric.
Okay. So then
Yeah,
use the
section
rubric.
7, right? Is that the section 7 part?
Yeah, like the
So
10
they didn't
questions.
Dr. Demi. Yeah, there was some missing sections
Uh-huh.
that were in the assignment, but they are
Okay,
actually on
hold
the
on.
rubric that you
Give me
posted.
1 minute. Yeah. Give me 1 minute. Let me show you the rubric. All right, this is the rubric. And you said some section is missing, or which one is that? It's missing the core syllabus.
Let me pull up the syllabus. I can take a look.
Yeah, so
Okay,
the
good.
course syllabus actually doesn't have section 7 and the conclusion, so 7 and 8. Because when our group was looking at the rubric, we had noticed that they weren't it wasn't the same. So that's just parts are missing in the actual syllabus assignment.
Oh, yeah. So normally the rubric is, what I'm going to use, the syllabus kind of give you a broad overview of the assignment, and the rubric will give you the specific things that I will look for in grading. And therefore, I'm going to use the rubric to grade, not the course syllabus, right? That's why I provide you the rubric. So normally what happens sometimes is that you meet students and they need more information and you add, for example, in the rubric and all that. So once I'm going to use the rubric for grading, I think work with the rubric, right? Yes, Shona?
There's also a discrepancy in the page numbers. So on the rubric, it says 9 to 10 pages, but on the syllabus, I believe it says 11 to 12. We're already at 12, so I just want to make sure that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. What happens normally is sometimes students will ask for extra page, right? So then I think I just give them and check it and reflect. But let me check here. How many pages did I mention here? I don't think I mentioned pages here.
Yeah, at the top, the very first couple sentences.
Okay, 9 to, yeah.
Yeah.
Ideally, yes. 9 to 10 should be okay. But over the years, I've realized that students will always come back for more, right? Students will always come back. I need this, so I just put that one in the course syllabus. If you can do 9 to, if you can capture it, fine. But I also give you the flexibility, right? Don't go beyond the 11 to 12.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go through it and we're gonna try to make it a little more succinct so we're not repeating ourselves. Okay.
Yeah. Normally students ask requests for, please can you add another this? But ideally 9 to 10 page should be enough. Is that okay? Okay. So these are what I'm going to use to grade. So focus on the rubric. Provide brief background of the social service gap that you are looking for. So it's like you are describing what you are looking for. If it is shelter, if it is homelessness, whatever, social service, tell us about it. What's it about, right? So brief description. And then state why your group chose that agency. You should have a rationale for choosing that agency, right? If probably somebody is working there, so you have enough cordiality with the workers, and therefore you can get information. Probably is something that is of interest to one of the members or all the members of the group, and so on and so forth. So you have to then explain that. Explain the significance of evaluating that specific agency. Why do you think it's necessary, right, to evaluate that social service agency that you decided to evaluate? Then demonstrate how evaluation is connected to broader themes of social work, right? So the marks there is there. Describe the the social work agency. This is in the problem statement, right? You have to. You did already just briefly describe it. You have chosen social issues or problem it addresses. So basically, in the problem statement, you are going to describe what challenges is the, for example, agency facing, right? What are some of the challenges? Is it about funding? Is it about gap in their service provision? And is it about challenging of staffing and so on and so forth? So describe that. Yes, Shamhad.
I have a question about that. Sorry.
Good.
So let's say we're focusing on this particular agency, but they have so many programs that they offer, for example, right? Like they have food bank, they have like other programs. So do you want us to focus on one particular program
Yes,
that they
focus.
do?
Yes,
Okay.
I
Okay.
focus
Thank
on
you.
one. Don't touch so many. That's some of the challenges
Okay.
I find students. Just focus on one. Right? Don't touch all of them, and then just focus on one so that your list will be specific. Okay, wonderful, good question. So describe the specific demographic group served by the agency. Which are they? Maybe women in shelter? Are they indigenous community? Are they? So whatever demographic they are serving, right? And then indicate the type of social service, right? Indicate the types of social service that is, for example, that the agency, social agency provide to address social issue. So what kind of service do they provide, right? And which one are you focusing? For example, as Shamhad mentioned, if they are providing so many, choose one that they are providing and highlight on that, right? That is what you are going to talk about. Then 3, identify prevailing social service gap. So what is the gap in their service provision, right? Then you go to the literature review. If you can present them in this, subheading, that will be helpful, right? Introduction, problem statement, service review, literature review. Do that. It makes it easier, right? To know, when you end one section and when you start the other. So take note of that. So literature review. Check different literature or articles on the issue you've chosen and identify their strengths and weaknesses, explain how these articles help you to identify research questions while also identifying the prevailing service gap. So the ideal, today we are going to look at literature review. The essence of literature review is to enable us to identify the gap in literature so that we can coach our study to fill in the gaps, right? So that's what you are supposed to do. But don't just go and pick one literature, describe it, and then go to the next one, describe it. That's what a book literature review, right? Let the literature engage each other, right? So, for example, in Shauna's study, she found out that people who are, let's say people who are unemployed are likely to be found homeless. But in Rochelle's study, she find the opposite, right? So let them interact with each other, right? Compare and contrast their findings, right? Outline 2 research questions you propose to answer based on the prevailing service and literature gap. So after literature review, now you identify the gap in literature, right? Once you've identified the gap in literature, now state 2 questions that will help you to fill in the gap, right? 2 questions that will help you to fill in the gap. Theoretical lens. So here, I'll not be tough on it, but you should also learn how to employ theory. Basically, when we talk about theory, we mean the critical theories. So we are looking at issues around critical race theory, anti-colonial theory, critical feminism, critical mental health, and all those critical theories, or anti-oppressive theory, right? All those critical theories. You can select one or you can select 2, but if you select 2, they should complement each other. Is that okay? So, for example, sometimes you can select critical race theory and indigenous knowledge framework. So, the critical race will critique, right, the discrimination and all that. Then the indigenous knowledge will provide solution. So, that's what I mean by complementing each other. So, take note of that. Now, the research design, which is very, very important. So you have to tell us, how are you going to address the gap or the research questions that you identify or you stated, right? So identify research appropriate approach or paradigm. So you have to decide whether you are going to use qualitative, you are going to use quantitative, or you are going to use mixed method, right? Sorry, I have cold, so I'll be struggling today. Then justify why the paradigm is appropriate, right? Justify why the paradigm is appropriate. So if you are using qualitative research, and then under the qualitative research, you are using narrative inquiry, you have to tell us why the narrative inquiry is appropriate for the kind of study that you are designing. Is that okay? So, for example, if you want to find out the life story of somebody, of course, the narrative inquiry is the most appropriate. Is that okay? If you want to, for example, generate new theory, then grounded theory is the most appropriate that you can use. So tell us why, justify the paradigm you use. In the same research design, I want to see some of these. One, name and identify data collection method. How are you going to collect your data? Right? How are you going to collect your data? If it is qualitative, there are various in-depth interview, focus group, participant observation, and so on and so forth. If it is quantitative, you are going to use survey, or you are going to use questionnaire, right? Or you can also talk about, you can also talk about the model that you want to use. If, for example, your research is just to look at the distributions, so you can say maybe I'll use distributive statistics, meaning you are going to look at averages, percentages, mean, and then mode and those stuff. Is that okay? Sorry. Today is staff bio managed. How do you plan to collect data? Right? So how do you plan? First of all, start with the recruitment. Right? Recruitment, whether you send an email to the organization through the listserv, or you are going to post notice calling for participants to participate in the research. How are you going to select them? Sampling method. Right? Are you going to use purposive sampling? If purposive sampling, how many participants are you going to interview, right? And so on and so forth. How do you plan to analyze your data? Very, very important. How? Are you going to use coding and thematization? Are you going to use any statistical software such as SPSS, Stata, eView, and whatever? Now, the conclusion. The conclusion basically is to summarize the key findings by referring to your what do we call research questions and demonstrating how you have addressed the questions, and then grammar and other things also will be checked. Please give me 1 minute. Let me come. 1 minute, just 1 minute. Let me take my. Sorry. I have to take my tissue because. Okay. So. Okay, so yeah, that's it. So the conclusion and then this one, normally we don't have to add it to what do we call, because this is just specific. So for those who said they are not part of the course syllabus, they are not supposed to be there, right? Conclusion is just, I'm giving you just guideline. So the course syllabus is supposed to give you the broad overview of the assignment, right? And then rubric is to break it down into how I'm going to award the marks and so on and so forth. So that's the point I want to emphasize here. Any questions, comments? Yes, okay, 2 hands, good. Okay, Wanda.
So when we're doing it, you want the headings that are in the rubric bolded, right? Like,
yeah, that would be helpful. Yes.
Like not all those little points underneath. You just want one heading, right?
Yes, okay. The broad headings, not
okay.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Janet.
Professor, where do you have the rubric posted? The one that you're reading off now with the max and stuff?
The rubric?
Yeah, this one that has the max right now.
Yeah, it's attached to the assignment. When you read the assignment on the let me see.
It's on announcements.
It's on announcement too?
Right. It's on announcements. When you go to assignments, it's like blacked out. Like you can't click on anything.
Oh, the assignment? Is that how it is? Okay, let me check.
So just under announcements, I guess on content, is that? Or course home?
All right.
Course home, I think. Yeah,
it's
course home.
It's supposed to be there. Give me 1 minute.
Yeah. Under January 16th.
Okay. Okay.
Someone also put it in the chat too.
Okay, wonderful. So then let me leave it because it's not to waste time, right? If you need it, you can email me. I'll forward it to you as well. Are we good? Janet?
Yes,
so I did have a quick question. Oh, sorry. I did have a quick question. I noticed in the syllabus assignment, it did ask about like evaluation and hold on, what was the question? Like how can evaluation help improve the program? But I noticed that that's not in the rubric. So are those
sorry, it's not the rubric. Don't talk about it.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Any questions, comments? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I just noticed that the rubric doesn't actually equal out to 100. It only equals out to 95. Is that going to be a problem?
The rubric? Okay, let me check.
No, it equals 100.
All right, my bad.
Okay. All right. Any questions, comments? All right. So I think we are good. Let's move to the next segment, which is the class discussion as usual. So what I'm trying to do is that for the exams, I want us to only concentrate on things that we did after the reading week. Is that okay? So just after the reading week, that's what we are going to, concentrate our effort on. So I always want to give you the opportunity to come out with your own questions. So today too, we are going to do similar assignment. So today I'm going to divide you into 4 groups, and each group is supposed to be 10. And these are the questions that you are going to respond to. So group 1 will respond to group 1 questions. Group 2 will respond to group 2 questions. Group 3 will respond to group 1 questions. And group 4 will respond to group 2 questions. Are we good? Are we good? Or let me do it this way so that it will be easier. This group 1 question. So if you are in group 1 and 3, and this one, okay, here, let me make it activity 1 instead of group so that it will not confuse anybody. Activity 1 or I. So group 1 and 3, activity, what did I do? 1 minute. Okay. Activity 2. Group 2, group 1 and 3. And group 2 and 4. And group 2 and 4. Are we good? Yeah. So I'm going to divide you into this group. If you are in group 1 and 3, please do activity 1. If you are in group 2, group 2 and 4, do activity 2. Then when you finish the same group, continue with this assignment. Group 1, you review slides 9 to 13. Group 2, slides 14 to 17. Group 3, slides 18 to 22. Group 4, slides 23 to 29. Come out with 5 multiple choice questions. Are we good? Any question? Okay. I think no questions. So let's start. You have the slides already. So let me divide it into group.
Hey, Prof, can you just go back the one slide?
Okay.
Thank
All right. You have it. You have it on your slides. I posted it.
You just changed the group numbers, so I just want to make sure I got it.
Okay. Yeah. Activity 1 and 2. So group 3 and 1 and group 2 and 4. Even numbers and then odd numbers. All right. Let's quickly start. I'll give you 20 minutes. If so, you still need more time, I can add another 10 minutes. But for now, let's use 20 minutes. Let's come back and let's wrap up nicely. Okay. I've created a group. Now it's open. Please, you can join. The time is 8:40. So I'll be 7:40. Come back at 8 o'clock. 7:40. Stop. 8 o'clock.
Dr. Demi, I just got to leave and come back.
Were you kicked out?
No, I have my internet's not working. Like it's all, so I'm just gonna leave and come back. So I'll have to go back to group one when I get back.
Okay. I will put you to group one. Michelle?
Yeah, can you put me back in group one?
Okay, sure, I will do that.
Thank you.
Thank you for thanking me. Okay.
And completely useless. $1 billion collection of metal that could not stop a paper airplane.
2. All right.
I clicked out of there too quick, Dr. Demi. I saw it come up and I went to move it away and I clicked and I came back to the main room. You're muted, Dr. Demi.
I said I've already closed the room, so everybody's now coming to join.
Oh my gosh.
Are we good? Excellent. I went through, I visited all the rooms and I can see you were all busy doing a good job. So let's start with group one. Group one, can you share your screen and then tell me what you did? Select one of the questions. Leave that, the other one for the other group. So just select one out of the two questions, that A and B, and show me how you did your work. Group one, who is presenting on me?
That's me.
Okay, good.
So group one, I'll do question A.
Okay.
Okay. So the mode, the number that appears most often, so it would be 8.
8, okay.
And then 2 for the mean, we did sum of all values over the number of values. So
Yes.
we had 100 over 12, which gave us 8.33.
Okay, good.
And then the median is a range ascending order, so lowest to highest, and there were 12 values. So we used the 6th and 7th value, so it was 8 plus 9 over 2 gave us 8.5.
Excellent job. Okay, good job. So let's go to group 2. Group 2, will you show us how you did your work?
Yes, so I'll do A for group 2.
Okay.
So for the mode, we got 5.
So what is mode?
Like the most common number.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
and
number
then,
with highest frequency, right?
yes.
Okay, good.
And after listening to how they did their median, I think we may have done our median incorrectly, but like we put them all in order and then we had the most of 5, so like our answer we came up with was 5, but they added 2 numbers, so I'm thinking
No, good. So if it is odd number, if it's only one is in the middle, you take it. If they are even numbers, right? So for example, if they are 12, obviously they are even, so then you have to combine the medium too, so you are right. Because yours
okay,
is
perfect.
odd.
Okay, good. Okay, perfect. And then for the mean, so to get the sum, we added up all the numbers, which was 72. And then there was 11. The number of values was 11.
Good.
And then it came up to 6.55. And then we weren't sure if we were supposed to round it to like a whole number or if we just kept it as 6.55.
6.55 is okay.
Okay, perfect.
Or 6.6. That should be fine. If it is greater than 0.5, you just convert 1 and add it to the existing one. So you are good. Yeah,
okay,
you
cool.
did a good job. Yes, group 3. You are going to present the other one. Group 3, who is presenting on behalf of group 3?
I
Good.
will. So we did B, Dr. Demi, right? Correct?
Okay, yes, B.
Okay, so the mode is 17.
Can you explain what the mode is?
The mode is the most common appeared number.
Yeah, yes.
Which was 17.
Yeah.
And then the mean we did, it was the total, so 222 over the amount of numbers, which was 11.
Okay.
So it was 20.18.
Okay, good.
And then the median, when you put them all in order, the 6th value, which was the middle, was 19. Sorry,
okay.
I'm like you.
Good. Okay. Yes, group 4.
Okay, group 4, so for A, mean was 6.5, mode was 5, and median was 5. For B, mean was 23. To be honest with you, somebody in my group got it. I am having a really hard time with this. part of and I had mentioned that to our group that I'm really having a hard time with that part. So somebody else found this answer. I apologize.
Okay. So the one who found the answer, how do you get it?
It's the average.
It's the average, okay.
Yeah.
So average basically means you add all the numbers together and multiply by the number of frequencies, right? So the sum of frequencies, that will give you the average. And then the mean, that's the mean. Mean is the same as average. And then the median, you arrange them either in ascending or descending order and select the middle number, right? And so you are good. But there's another question. Let me see. Let me go back to the slides. Okay. This did you try questions C?
Yes, we did see.
Okay.
We came up with the topic youth mental health support in the community programs.
Okay.
The objective to understand how community programs help improve youth mental health.
Okay.
And so then we came up with 2 questions. So what community programs support youth mental health, and what barriers do you face to access these programs?
Okay.
That's the 2 questions. And then we were cut out. So I think here
Okay. So for the sake of time, share whatever you've done with me. You have your questions, right? Did you set your multiple choice questions? Group 1 to 4.
So this Antoinette, I think, came up with these because we were cut off real quick.
Okay.
Which one is it? Just
That's
trying
good.
to find it.
Group 1, did you set your multiple choice questions?
Yes, I sent them to you by.
You did group 2?
Yeah, we have
Group
ours.
1
They were
sent
already
them to
sent to
you.
you.
Okay. Group 3?
Yep.
I'll send them to you now, Professor.
Okay, sure. Group 4?
No,
You didn't set the questions?
we didn't get them started, man.
No, we
Antoinette
had
put
Okay.
them in.
Find a way and then set some questions and bring it and send it to me. All right. I mean, the slide numbers that you have up to tomorrow. You can do that and send it to me. I'll share, the other group's questions with you. So try and do it so that everybody benefits. I think we can now start the class, but I think it's now 8:18. Let me give you 10-minute break, right? Let's go for washroom. When we come back, I'm going to just run through it very quick, right? I'm going to go through with top speed. So it's now 8:18, come back 8:28. 8:18. We are coming back at 8:28. Thank you. Today, I think we can run quick because it's just simple points.
And you're
Let me
not
copy this.
feeling well.
You are not feeling, oh, sorry.
You are not feeling well.
Yeah. I have code. Yeah. I have code, but I have to. So let's go for 10-minute break, then we will come back.
Get a hot
Thank
cup
you.
of tea with honey, Dr. Demi. It'll help you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, I think let's start quickly so that we can just finish up. I'm just going to run through it briefly. I mean, today is very, very explanatory. I don't have to go through all the slides. Are we back?
I am.
Okay.
Yes. You're back.
Good.
Professor.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, people are back. All right. Okay, so let's start. Last week we discussed sampling. Who can tell me what sampling is? Just explain it in a layman's language. And then what are the main types of sampling that we discussed last week? And why is sampling important? Anyone? Start with the first one. What is sampling? Anyone?
In my own words, sampling is a portion of the population you wish to research or that you will be using for your research.
Absolutely perfect. Yes. Yes, that's the layman point of view. The portion of the population selected to participate in the study. So that's wonderful. We mentioned two main types of sampling. Can somebody mention them? Mention one. Let me see. Yes, Rochelle.
I'm just guessing. Random.
Random. So random sampling. Okay. Yeah, random sampling. What is the collective name for random sampling? Yes, Nicole.
Snowball sampling.
Snowball sampling. It's type of sampling, but we have the two main types before we have examples of each. So I'm looking for the two main types. Yes, Jessica?
I think it's probability sampling and non-probability sampling.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Who can give me an example of non-probability sampling? Yes, Kenzie?
That would be random sampling.
Non-probability sampling. Random sampling is probability sampling. Yes,
Can you say that
Shamad?
again?
Random
Convenience
sampling is
sampling?
one of the probability sampling. So non-probability sampling is different.
Oh,
Anyone?
okay.
Convenience sampling?
Convenience sampling, yes. Convenience sampling. So who can give an example of probability sampling? Kenzie mentioned random sampling, right? So, okay. Take note of that. So sampling, when it is done well, it is a mirror image of the population, right? So it gives us, when it is done well, it gives us the opportunity to generalize our findings. Today we are going to look at what we call the measures as well as also literature review. In collecting or in research, there is what we call our program evaluation. There is what we call data collection. And normally the data collection, we use what we call instrument. Is that all right? So let's start with checklists for selecting an evaluation instrument. So evaluation instrument basically can be questionnaire, can be survey, or can be even interview guide that help us to collect the data. And this instrument must have certain characteristics or qualities, right, in order to be sound, right? And one of the quality is what we call utility. Is that right? One of the quality of the evaluation instrument is the utility. When we talk about the utility, we are talking about how easy we can use the instrument to collect the data. So we call it easy to administer, score, and then interpret. Is that right? Will it provide useful information? And then are there norms or studies providing comparison data? Right? These are what we talk about when we talk about utility. But in economics, when we talk about utility, it means different thing, right? It means the satisfaction one derives from consuming a product. So take note of that. Then we also talk about the suitability and acceptability of the instrument. So here we are looking at, will it work with your population in terms of vocabulary, reading level, and sophistication? So you look at your research participants and then look at their level, right? So if you are going to interview experts, right, they expect you to use technical language, right? If you are going to interview lay people, then you are expected to use language that will be easy for them to understand. It is age appropriate. When you must ensure that your instrument is age appropriate. Is it appropriate for client emotional state? So this is also one of the key things that you look at. So sometimes there is these nuances. For example, I remember when I was going to study food security with population Scarborough, I submitted my ethics review, and one of the questions I asked was food security and whether the participants have experienced any food shortages within the period of 1 month or 30 days. And then they came back to me that that question may invoke some emotional distress to the individual. So I should know how to put it in a different way. So these are some of the things that you have to look at. Would the client feel the item are relevant to their problem? So that is another. Then sensitivity, right? Your instrument must be sensitive to change. So for that, when you are conducting, let's say, the ABA model of STAR, that the observation, intervention, and then further observation, you'll be able to detect what we call any minor changes that occur as a result of that. Then we talk about directness. The instrument should be able to capture objectively the client behavior, emotional states, attitude, and knowledge. So these are characteristics. So then we talk about non-reactivity, meaning that the instrument should not suggest answers to, for example, the participant, right? It shouldn't create any negative emotion as well. And then appropriateness. Here we are looking at, will client find instrument too long or too short? Take note that when you are interviewing people, sometimes they are very particular, right? If you go too long, sometimes some of them will get angry. But you as an expert or you as an experienced interviewer, what you have to do is look at the participant mood, the way they answer questions. And then you can cut some of the questions short, right? So for example, if you see the participants are not willing to engage, whatever you do is basically you ask the most important questions first, right? Quickly, and then now you go to the other questions that you may want to ask. The expense. You have to also look at the financial or what you call your budget, right? Are you going to purchase the instrument? Because there are some instruments you have to purchase them. Instrument like what do you call survey monkey, right? There are so many survey instruments that you have to buy, and if you are going to buy, how much is it cost, and how much is your budget, and all this must be taken care of. Of course, the reliability and validity of the instrument, very, very important. I mean, these are straightforward. I don't have to explain this one. Then we have what we call the cultural sensitivity. You know, we used to talk about cultural competence, but now we are moving towards what we call cultural sensitivity. The reason being that it's very problematic when somebody consider him or herself or themselves as competent in someone else's culture, right? But we can talk about the person is sensitive to other people's culture by way of knowing some something a little bit about it that can guide the individual. So let's look at, for example, multiculturally sensitive skill, mental health skill. This was developed in the US when they realized that some of the instruments available do not capture the reality of the Black population, and therefore they use those multicultural sensitive mental health skill instrument. So several resources may be consulted for concerns about the cultural appropriate. So in drafting your instrument, you may want to review other materials, right? Other cultural materials that will help you better understand the appropriateness of your questions and so on and so forth. Now, let's look at literature. So, stop me if I'm going too fast, okay? As I promise you that I'm going to run through it quick, but if I'm going too fast, let me know. If I may ask, why do we conduct literature review? Why do you think we need to conduct literature review? What's the importance of literature review? Yes, Shauna?
To see other perspectives and information on the same topic in the field.
Okay, yeah. Other perspective and information on the same topic, yeah. Shamhad?
Yeah, to understand what other researchers have already studied about
Wonderful.
certain topic. I think it also kind of helps you guide the research questions.
Okay, good.
It's in the assignment, so
Yeah,
just remember.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the assignment, yeah. So that's why you have to capture this one. And yeah. Jessica, I saw your hand up.
Oh, I was going to comment the same, like maybe just also to see the gaps that are in the research.
Yes, very, very important. Gaps in literature. Gaps in literature, yes, absolutely. Who else? Come up with more, right? So basically, to put whatever you said in a nutshell, what I would say is that literature review is very important, right? Because when you conceptualize the idea of you studying something or you evaluating something, the next thing is come out with your questions, and then the questions will guide you to review literature. So the essence of literature review is for you to know what has been done on the topic. How was it done? What were the findings? What were the strengths and what are the weaknesses? Is that okay? Literature review will help us to identify the research gap. Very, very important. It will also help us to determine our variables or select appropriate variable, and also prevent us from reinventing the wheel. So, for example, we don't have to repeat studies that have been done numerous times. So, these are basically the reason here. Avoid reinventing the wheel, draw evaluation research question, understand and maybe replicate other evaluation research design, know what others have done, and then prevailing gap, know the prevailing gap. We still have more. So avoid methodological and theoretical pitfall by identifying strengths and weaknesses of previous studies. So with the help of previous studies, you'll be able to avoid some mistakes or shortcomings that may be associated with your study. Identify data sources from other evaluation studies, learn how other studies have or measure key concepts, provide evidence to support your study. Very, very important. We use literature review to support our study by way of comparing and contrasting our findings with other studies. Discover important variable, I mentioned that, and then also relating new findings with previous findings in writing the report. Yes. So in your report, you want to highlight what has been found already and what your new study or your current study is also finding. And then you compare and contrast your findings with others. Any question? Any question? Are you around? Yeah, I can see James and then yeah. And then okay, James, Wanda and Shauna,
We're
you are
here.
around. Okay, good.
We're
Good.
here,
Yeah,
Professor.
Shauna? Good, good.
I'm just wondering what's the number of articles that we have to review for our project? Is 2 to 3 acceptable? I know it
No,
seems
2
kind of
is
low.
too. No, normally at the university level is merely 10 articles. Merely 10 articles, but 5 to 10 should be okay. Right?
I just don't see how we're going to adequately review that with the amount of page numbers that we're given.
Oh, are you talking about the literature review? Just the literature review aspect?
Yeah, in our project, yes.
No, the whole paper, at least you can use 10 articles or 5 should be fine. So you are
Again,
not.
I just don't see how we're adequately going to be able to review the articles and then put them into a section that's like 2 pages.
No, article literature review doesn't necessarily go and review the articles. Meaning the article that you consult in writing your paper.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all right? So the literature review aspect, you can even choose, let's say, 3, 4 articles. What was the article about? What were the findings? Right?
Okay. Yes. Yes.
So you can mention, in Shauna's study, she found out that, for example, food security is high in Sault Mary. That's one article. That's one review. Then, however, in Shay or in Jessica's studies, she found the contrary. That's second article.
You just want like a sentence or 2?
Yeah, you don't have to review everything. Yes, nothing like that. Just highlight the key findings. And how is it? Because first of all, what you have to identify is the article relevant to what you are investigating or your research. You must always cite articles that are relevant to your research. If they are not relevant, you don't have to. So if you can even review 10 articles in 1 page.
I see. I think we're going a little overboard and trying to give more of an in-depth view and explain the article that we're reviewing. So
Oh no. You don't have to go too much with that. Just for example, what we want is like on the topic. What are other authors saying about the topic? Basically, that's it. So even 1 sentence will be even enough for one particular article. As I mentioned, in Shauna's article, she found out that food insecurity is high in Tusenberry. That's somebody's. What do you call findings?
Okay.
We have what we call. If you are doing what we call, I've forgotten this thing. Annotated bibliography. We are what we call annotated bibliography, right? For annotated bibliography, what you have to do is that you pick one article, you talk about what the article is about, what are the strengths, what are the weaknesses, right? And so on and so forth. That one is, annotated bibliography. But in research, literature review doesn't necessarily mean you pick one article. That's what we call the book literature review. We don't do that. Let the article engage each other. So you don't have to tell us all about the article, but the key points that are relevant to your study.
Okay. Thank you, sir. That makes
Thank you
sense.
too. Yes. Any questions, comment? Sorry. All right. So literature review, using literature review. 1, connecting the literature to theory, meaning your study, right? Your study, you have to ground it, right? Based on previous studies that have been done. Is that okay? Identifying previous research, giving direction to the project. So how do we give direction? We give direction by for example, identify the gap and then help use the gap to coach our study, right? So you identify the gap can be edited. For example, most of the studies that you review are quantitative studies, right? There is no qualitative that will capture the emotions of the people. So you can state that as a gap, right? So maybe most of the literature on this topic mainly quantitative, and there's lack of what emotional expressions of the what the participant. And therefore, my study will capture that because I'm going to use qualitative studies so that the essence is that your qualitative study will complement what is already there, the quantitative studies. Is that okay? Are we good? Shay? Are we good? Jessica? Okay, perfect. So where do we get information from? Where do you get your articles from? Anyone? Where do you get the article that you are working with?
Algoma Library.
Okay, Algoma Library. Okay, that's good. Yes. Rochelle?
Yeah, I was gonna say Algoma Library, but it's all peer-reviewed articles.
Peer-reviewed article. Okay, yeah, that's important. It should be peer-reviewed, right? The article should be peer-reviewed. But any other? Nico?
Just your regular old search engine, pretty much. You could use Google or Chrome and just look up what you're looking for.
Yeah. So, I mean, mostly, if you are an Agoma University student, the Agoma Library, has, when you go to online, go to Agoma Library, can help you to get some articles, right? You just type the title of the article, or you just type the title of your research, and some articles will pop up. So what you do first, you look at the title, whether it connects to your study. Second, you review the abstract, right? By reviewing the abstract, you'll be able to know whether this study is relevant to my work, right? And then select them. Yeah, sometimes you can also go to the library and then they are there to help you. The librarians are there to kind of help you select articles. They are trained for that. And they do a good job. There are other search engines like Google Scholar, Scopus, they are many, right? You PubMed, depending on your area of research, you can get so many information available. So writing a literature review, cite only research that you find specifically pertinent to your study. That's very, very important. So cite wherever you make a categorical statement, because you can't just say something without providing evidence, right? So, for example, if you say something like, or if you say something like, indigenous people of Canada are overrepresented in prison system. This is a categorical statement. You have to provide evidence, right? In academic writing, you cannot just say something without any evidence. So you say, when you say indigenous people are overrepresented, or black people or white people are overrepresented in this, you have to provide a study that indicated that these people or that people are overrepresented, right? But don't cite something that everybody knows. So something like Ottawa is the capital of Canada. Everybody knows that, right? It's a common, language. So that you don't have to cite, right? And when you are citing, don't quote people. When you quote the article, then you have to put it in inverted commas and then indicate the page number. Other than that, you have to paraphrase whatever you are citing. Is that okay? So take note of that. So discuss and evaluate the literature you have selected. So you review them, evaluate them, whether they are relevant, show logical continuity between existing literature and your study, right? So what is your study and the literature? How do they connect and where do they depart, right? Take note of that. Identify controversial issues or differences in the literature. In the literature and your study. Cite the more recent literature. So this one is just an advice, because sometimes if you cite too old article, maybe the information may be old information, right? So always mostly cite the new articles, but of course you also can cite old articles to kind of build up the trajectory, how the thing started and how it is going and where we have reached, right? So a combination of both old and new, right, is good, right? But don't cite, for example, if you are providing data or statistics, right? Say 10%, or let's say black people are about 30% of black people are overrepresented in the prison district. And then you cite something in 2010. That may be old information. Maybe the data might have changed. So if you are providing data, if you are providing statistics, always use the most recent articles, right? So that you will be, abreast with the time. Sorry, I'm speaking through my nose. Okay. So refer to published studies for examples of literature review. So the way, if you want to know how literature review is done, check articles. Look at their literature review. Look at the way they argue out, so that you can conduct your literature review. I'm running. Now let's look at measurement again. When we talk about units of analysis, what do we mean is that what we are evaluating. So, for example, if your study is about trees, you are looking at how the trees absorb water or whatever. Your unit of analysis will be trees. Is that okay? If your study is about human beings, then your unit of analysis will be individual human beings. Are we good? Jessica? Good. James? Good. Okay. There are three types of unit of analysis. One, the individual. So when you are conducting survey, mostly you are collecting information from an individual. There are occasions where you have to collect data from group. So for example, an organization. If you are studying organization, then it's a group. Or for example, in my study of food security that I did over 10 years ago, I took food security status of a household. So I mean household or I define household to mean people who eat together from a common bowl, right? So in that case, I'll take the number of individuals in the household. So man, the husband, if the grandparents are there, then I'll look at the children, right? So I'll know how many people are in this household. Then I'll know how many are children, how many are adults, how many are working, how many are not working. Why? Because I can use this information to calculate what we call dependency ratio, and also calculate the calorie intake of each individual in the household. So in that study, I think I put one example of that study in my quantitative study, right? I put it there. It's there. It's now when you check, you see. you see that I took the data for each household. So this one can be termed as group, right? Group unit of analysis will be the group. Then, of course, we have social artifacts. So for those of you who do documentaries, research in photo voice and all that, right? Artifacts can be also unit of analysis, right? So take note of that. So let's look at level of, yes. Kenzie, good. Ask questions. Good.
Sorry, I'm not sure that I understand what a social artifact is.
Social artifacts? So they are either materials, either cultural symbols. They could be photos, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that
Can
we
you put
use
it?
for
Can you put it
analysis.
into an example as like in a study format?
Oh yeah, like a photo voice. So for example, you can ask participants to be taking picture of their daily activity, right? And then narrate what they were doing during, when they took the picture and so on and so forth. Then later you analyze. Is that okay? Do you get
Sure,
that?
thanks. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So that's what we call the artifact. It can be also a symbol, right? You want to, you are doing ethnography. You want to know the symbols, even clothing, right? And so on and so forth. Their artifact can be so many paintings, right? You want to know the story behind this painting. Mona Lisa. Who has heard of Mona Lisa before? The painting of Mona Lisa. Yes. And you want to learn about Mona Lisa. So you are going to look at the paintings. Those who, do artwork. I'm not art person, right? I don't do those type of research. But there are those who do a lot of things like that. So when we talk about give me 1 minute. I take my notes. Give me 1 minute. All right. So let's look at the level of measurement. So when we talk about measurement, sometimes we normally use variables. Is that okay? So how many types of variables do we have? Anyone? I mentioned so many times about variables. James, do you want to say something about variables?
What's the question?
Variables. Do you know how many types of variables do we have?
How many types?
Yes.
Geez, I don't know. Independent variables.
Yes. Independent variables.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I don't know if the word is static variables, but variables that can't be manipulated.
Yes, they are the independent variables or explanatory variables, right?
Yeah.
And they are the independent variables, those that you can manipulate in order to measure the dependent variable. So take note of this once and for all. And we also have what we call categorical variables, meaning variables that are either this or that. So for example, marital status. You can be either married or not married or single, right? There are no any other way. But when we talk about age, variable like age, it varies, right? Variable like age, it varies. So take note of that. Let's look at what we call nominal data. So nominal data assigned to categories, right? So ethnicity, marital status are considered nominal measurement. Then we have what we call ordinal, meaning you can order them, right? You can order ordinal, meaning order them in sequence. So data are sequenced in some order. Go from strongly agree or strongly disagree. For those of you who do course evaluation, right? They can ask you question. What do you say about the course content? Strongly agree to strongly disagree. Is that okay? These are what we call the ordinal because they are ordered in sequence. Now we can also calculate mode, mean, frequency, average, and so on and so forth. These are always also level of measurement that we can do. Then we have what we call, we mentioned nominal and ordinal variables, right? So nominal and ordinal variables are not numerical. They are not numerical. They are not giving numbers. Basically, that's what it says. Then we also have what we call interval. So interval, for those of you who are familiar with thermometer, right? Measuring temperature. Thermometer is used to measure temperature, right? So when you look at the thermometer, you see they've given some intervals, right? The measurement is there, right? And the intervals should be the same. If it is 5, so they will start 1, then they will just make dot dot, and then the next number is 5, dot dot dot. The next number is 10, up to that. We can also talk about IQ tests, temperature, and so on and so forth. We can use to calculate the mean, mode, and median, right, of this variable. Now, let's talk about ratio. When we talk about ratio, ratio data are also sequenced in order. So the difference between the points are equal, and each value represents absolute magnitude. A true zero meaning that it can be measured. So what you mean is that with the ratio, I can say that, for example, a ratio of professor to teacher at Agoma University is 1:20. What do I mean? When I say a ratio of professor to students in Agoma University is 1:20. What do I mean?
0.05.
105. Okay, you calculated the ratio, right? But
No.
what is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of that sentence? A ratio of professor to students at Agoma University is 1:20. Yes, Jennifer?
It just means there's one professor for every 20 students.
Yes. Yes. That means one professor, 20 students. So when I say a ratio of professor-student is 1:10, it means there's one professor, every 10 students are taught by one professor. Dana, Wanda, are you good? Okay, perfect. So that's it. But you see, okay, what about, let's assume that I said the ratio of professors to students at Agoma University is 1:10. How many professors will be required to teach 60 students? Yes, Nicole?
6.
Wonderful, 6. Right? So how did you get that, Nicole?
Well, you said there's one teacher for every 10 students, so you would just multiply that.
Multiply that. Okay, 6/10. Okay. So the simplest also way to get it is when I say 1:10, so you get 1 divided by 10. Will give you what? Calculate, use your phone to calculate. 1 divided by 10 is what? All of you, quick.
0.1.
0.1. So when you get the ratio, as James, you calculated earlier, then you multiply it by the number. So if I say 60 students, 0.1 times 60 students will give you what? 0.1 times 60.
Will give you 6.
Somebody says 6. Okay, good. So what about when I say 70 students? How will you do that?
Well, just like we just did it, except for it would be 0.1 by 7.
Yes, and you get what?
7.
No, 0.1 by 70, right?
So sorry, by 70, yes, to get 7.
Yes, so it will give you 70. So that's this. And also with ratio, you can calculate mode, median, mean, ratio, proportion. When we talk about proportion, what is proportion? Jessica, we want to give it a try.
Is it like percentage?
Yes, proportion is basically percentage, right? 10%, 5%, and so on and so forth. So interval and ratio are parametric. Metric. What's the meaning? When we say intervals and ratio or interval and ratio are parametric, what do we mean? It means it can be assigned numerical value, right? So you see, ordinal and nominal are not numerical. They are not parametrics, so are not numerical. And interval and ratio are parametric, meaning they can be assigned numerical value. So take note of that. Now we come to naming of variables, right? So we have variables are what? Characteristics of phenomenon that varies. Anything that can be measured is called variable. And value is different quality of variables. Then let's look at the relationship of variables. We have two types of variables. We have the independent variables, as I mentioned, or explanatory variables. Independent variables are also called explanatory variables. Then we have what we call dependent variables, meaning what we are going to measure. Are we okay with that? Yeah, I think I've explained this several times. So let's look at example. In my research, you can read the article. The article is there. I posted in week 9. In my research, I was studying food insecurity, right, in Ghanaian community. And I identified some variables. So one is age of household head, gender of household head, educational level. So education, you can put it in a different way. So you can say educational level or number of years in education. You can decide to either measure the number of years in education or the level. Then up to, so these are all independent variables. These are the description. And these are the measurements. Is that okay? So I will quote 1 for male, 2 for female, and 3 for other. Is there anything difficult here? Anyone? Shona? Okay. And we have what we call a priori expectation. What do I expect? So when you look at this one, my a priori expectation is negative or positive. So it means that if the household head is either female or male, we may have either the house or the household be food secure or food insecure. So that's why I say either positive or negative. Okay, let me look at education. educational level. You see that in the educational level, my a priori expectation is positive. I'm not going to bring this one in the exams, right? You don't worry your head about this one. I'm just trying to tell you what a variable is so that you get to know more about that, right? But I'm not going to bring something of that sort in the exams. So if I said educational level, I have positive, what do I mean? My prior expectation is positive. What do I mean? Anyone? Quick.
Can you repeat your question?
I said educational level. When you look at my a priori expectation, is only positive. I didn't put negative. What do I mean? What is the meaning of this? Yes, Kenzie.
You're expecting, if the head of the household is educated, that it will have a positive experience or positive effect on their food security.
Yes, it makes sense. But what I'm meaning is that those who with higher education will likely be food secure, right? The reason being that if you are higher education, you will be paid, you get higher pay, or you get employment and you get income and you are able to feed yourself. So the higher your education, the more I expect you to be food secure. Is that okay? Wonder, it seems something is not clicking. We are wrapping up. Though. Yeah.
Okay, so with the positive and the negative.
Yeah.
Okay. With the positive and the negative, that means it can go either way?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. That means it can go, I expect to go either way. But when I say only positive, meaning I expect to see positive outcome. When I say negative, only negative means I expect negative outcome. But that will not be the case always. Rochelle?
Oh, okay, I get it now. Yeah.
You got it now, right? Absolutely. Yeah. So read the article that I gave it to you is there. And see how I define each variables. That was, I think, 30 years ago when I published that article. Get to learn more about quantitative stuff. All right, so let me just leave you. So you see the variables that I define over there, I have to put it in an equation. People are dying. So don't worry your head about this. I'm just showing you something. It's not coming in an exam. So you see ZI. I'm using ZI to mean food security. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Then we have what called alpha. I. So this is it just capture the minor differences. Then now I'll specify all my variables. So B1, beta 1 means age of household head, gender of household head, up to the dependency ratio plus the error term. Did you remember we mentioned error term? Yeah, last week we mentioned error term. Are you not?
Yeah.
Yeah, we mentioned error term that, for example, if you want, what do we call?
5% error or 1% or 0.
Exactly.
Or
5% to
10%.
1% or 10%. So if it is 10% or whatever, so you put it, this one, you are not going to do it yourself. Normally, computer is there to do all, but you have to specify the equation so that, the people will know. So the ZI mean food security status, B1 up to 11, right? Oh, yeah, up to 11 are the explanatory variables, meaning they are what? Independent variables. Are we okay? Are we good? Jessica? Are you in distress?
So, Professor, what you're saying that I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
The independent variable is just what describes what you're looking at. It's like the characteristics of does it affect the research or the outcome of your result?
Good. So independent variables are the things that we can manipulate to measure the dependent variables. So basically, what I mean is that when I put this in an equation, right, not like this, when I run it, right, it's going to generate some data. One, the data, if it is negative, meaning the result is negative. It's positive, the result is positive. Then I'm going to look at, is it statistically significant? So, you mentioned about confidence level and then the other term, right? Which is 1%. So if 1% is significant, if it is 2% significant, if it is 10% and above, it's not significant. So I will not talk about it. Don't worry your head about this one. These are quantitative stuff. But I just want you to just get to know. So in wrapping up, what I would say is that one, defining and operationalizing the variables. That's what I did, right? So I defined the variable, I operationalize it, right? Giving it either positive or negative outcome. Then operationalize by specifying how the variable can be measured. So this is what I did here. This is how the variable can be measured, right? 1 and 2, then the equation here. Then agency writing literature review and identify, okay, this is just an information. So work with the agency if the research is already underway and have to give credit to contributors, meaning if people help you in data collection or even the literature review or whatever, you have to, state their name. If it is not, they are not part of the research, you can mention their name in the acknowledgement section, right? To acknowledge them, to give them credit for what they've done. How to give references to other people's thought. So if you use somebody's idea in your research, of course, you must cite to acknowledge that individual. Now will bring us to this one. Ethical issues to consider. So give credit, I mentioned already. Include relevant variables. Avoid reductionism, meaning the positivist mentality or idea. Then human diversity, writing literature review, identifying variables. Bias in the literature review, beware of who is doing the research. This is a very key, right? Yeah, Shay, go.
So in our assignment that we're doing, when you're asking for 10 different references, if we don't cite 10 times, that's okay as long as we're just giving credit to the contributors?
Yeah.
Is that okay? So we don't have to do 10 separate citations minimally. We can just use them as references in the paper.
Yeah, I said you can use 5 to 10 articles, right?
Right. I just as it was asked by somebody else, it was a little bit confusing to consider that we needed to add a lot of different citations from 10 different papers in this. So it was just, it's good to know that we can just use them and give credit to them, right? Like give credit, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Wonderful. Good idea. All right. Thank you. I think that will bring us to the end. I was able to run fast. Any questions, comments, suggestions?
Professor, is the final exam date finalized?
Not yet. I saw some date, but I just don't want to give it out. But I've seen something like 16th. One of my courses 16th, the other course, I think 8th or whatever. It should be around that date. I want them to finalize it before, because there can be some changes, right?
Right.
So,
is it like 16th of April?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
That's what I saw, but they can change it. Yes, Nicole?
Sorry, it's really loud where I am. I just want to confirm the weeks that we need to study. So you said the weeks after reading week, weeks 8
after reading week.
to 13, I'm assuming.
I'll give you specific week, but start preparing from after the reading. I'm not going to give you all the. The reading week ended where? Week 7, right?
Week 7 or week 8?
The reading week was week 7. So we started week 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 5 weeks, right? So start preparing for the 5 week. The last week, I'll remove it out. So just prepare for
Okay,
week
so weeks
8
to 12.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
Prepare
you.
for week 8 to 12. Any questions? For those of you who don't have the browser, please do download the browser because the university exams is strictly by ProTaU because they want to know who wrote the exams and so on and so forth. That one is entirely the administrative stuff. I nearly was criticized for allowing students to write without ProTaU, and I don't want that to be repeated. Yes, Shay?
Just while we're on the exam topic, I'm just wondering, will you be providing us with a review? Like a specific review or just the slides 8 to 12, or sorry, weeks 8 to 12?
Yes, last week 8 to 12. And what we did also, the questions that you do normally, I'll put that all together, right? And bring them for it. You prepare. And also the questions that we tried in class should also serve as a guide.
Okay, wonderful. It's just there's so much content, so it's a little bit overwhelming. So if we have something more specific, it's just a little bit easier to study off of. But yeah, 8 to 12 is okay. Thank you.
Yeah, wonderful. Nicole, is it a legacy hand?
No, sorry, I just forgot to lower my hand.
Oh, okay. All right. I think no questions, no comment. Thank you all for coming. See you next week. Next week, next week I'll be in Toronto, but I'll see what will happen, right? I'll try and see if for some reason I can't, I will not be available. I'll put a video of week 10 for you to review and then we discuss later. Is that okay? Yeah. I'm attending conference from 11th to 15th. So, sometimes things happen when you travel, right? But of course, I'll see how best we can go around. Do you want me to put a video for you? Or when we get there, we know how to cross it, right? Okay. That's good. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good
I think you
night.
should put a video, Dr.
Professor.
Demi.
Thank you.
Put a video.
Thank you, Dr.
I agree,
I should put a
video.
video.
It's easy.
Yeah, put a video.
You're already
You're gonna be
used
busy.
to
We'll
do
do our
a
work.
video.
Okay, then I'll put a video so that I can have my time. So I'll put a video for you.
Yeah.
Makes it
Yeah.
easier for
Review
you
it and
too.
then we'll discuss it later.
Okay. Hope you feel
Yeah.
better soon,
Take
Dr.
good care of
Demi.
yourself, Dr. Demi.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very
Strong.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good night, everyone. Have a good
Good
weekend.
night.
Good
Yeah,
night,
stay
everybody.
Wanda, you want to ask question?
Right. No, I was just going to tell you if it's easier for you to just do the video.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Because you're going to be busy with the conference, right? And not have to
Yes.
worry about being in class.
Excellent. Excellent.
Okay.
Good.
Feel better.
Thank you for your understanding.
Yeah. Feel better,
All
Dr.
right.
Demi. Good night.
Good night, James.
I have
Good
a
night,
question.
Yeah. Who is that? Yeah, you're sure.
I heard a comment about there being an extension for the assignment.
Yeah, we extended the assignment to 19th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, alrighty. Thank you.
Thank you for thanking me.
Submitting one per group.
Yeah, one in the ones to submit per group. Let me change the assignment right now before. Okay, let me stop recording.
Thank you.
Thank you for thanking me. Okay.